Welcome to News Today with Universal Parks News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for July 26th, 2025. Actually, before we get to the news, I want to plug this real quick. We are going to be attending Tampa Bay Comic Con next month. That's Friday, August 1st through Sunday, August 3rd. I will be a part of the Disney Parks YouTube Super Panel on Sunday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. in Ballroom D. Also, former Imagineers and Universal creatives Paul Osterhout and Jason Sorrell will lead two panel discussions on Saturday as well. The first panel will be at 2 p.m. and is called Designing for Superfans, the Secret Language of Immersive Worlds. The second panel will be at 7 p.m. and is called The Hero's Journey in Ride Form. Both panels will take place in Ballroom D. Again, I promoted this on News Today, and both of these gentlemen obviously were Disney Imagineers, but they also both spent several years at Universal Creative, some of which were spent on Beijing, some on Epic Universe. And so the insight will not be purely related to Disney Imagineering for you and the Universal-focused audience. There will be some talk of their time at Universal Creative. And I can now announce that I will be moderating Linda Larkin's Spotlight panel on Sunday, August 3rd at 11 a.m. in Ballroom A. That will be, Linda Larkin is the voice of Jasmine in Disney's Aladdin. Our team will be there all 3 days on the exhibitor floor, and you can find us at booth 1016. You can stop by and say hi. We'll also have new products from Carousel Products available. And on Saturday, both Paul and Jason will be hanging out in the booth and signing autographs. On Sunday, Paul will be there to sign some lithographs of projects he has worked on. You can get your tickets at TampaBayComicConvention.com. And the folks at Comic Con have given us a discount code. You can use WDWNT to save 15% on your tickets. We hope to see you there. In a developing story, two of the new electric buses currently in use at Universal Orlando Resort have caught fire. The story of the fire was shared in a video from local news station WESH 2. The reporter in the video notes that the buses were stationed just outside of Epic Universe, but does not mention the exact street or location. The reporter describes both buses as completely charred and notes that it looks like the fire was just put out as of the time of the live video, which was 12:18 p.m. on Friday. First responders were visible at the scene using hoses to continue spraying the buses. The reporter also mentions that it appears portions of the buses are still smoldering. Both show signs of a major fire, with the roofs of the buses almost completely removed and black around almost all the window holes. The original report dubbed them tour buses, but you know, guys, we spend a lot of time at the parks and we know these are definitely Universal branded, as you see the globe on the back of the buses. Upon closer inspection, both appear to be part of those new electric bus fleets that recently debuted at Universal Orlando earlier this year, just prior to the opening of Epic Universe. The bright purple paint most closely resembles the Transformers-themed bus seen in the image you're looking at now, though the electric buses come in multiple colors and the wraps are based on different characters. These electric buses most commonly run on the loop between Epic Universe and City Walk, though they have been seen stopping at other locations. There's still no information on what caused the fire, whether anyone was on the buses at the time, we assume not, or if anyone was injured. Stay tuned for more updates on this story. Obviously, this is a weekly show, and it's sometimes not every week. So if you want to know the latest on this, you're going to have to plug into our website at www.newstoday.com or www.nt.com. It looks to me like this was in a non-guest area. They were parked somewhere where they were not taking guests, thank God. That's what it looks like to me. They appear to be parked. They're both, beside each other evenly. It really feels like they were parked somewhere and this just happened. Hopefully there wasn't a driver or anything. Knock on wood, that didn't happen. But apparently with electric vehicles, it's not common, but it's not rare either that the batteries catch fire, and when they do, they're hard to put out. So this is an interesting development. These are relatively new. This is something that they're heavily relying on. If they have to take these out of service to do inspections or anything of the sort, it's going to affect operations greatly. So I bet this is not the last time we talk about this story, but it's interesting. And I'll be honest with you, after that, I think I'm going to walk. I'm going to book a hotel. If I'm staying over there again, I'm going to book Stella Nova or Helios and walk into that park. I'm not going to play around with that. While Epic Universe was still under construction, one construction worker reported his off-road utility vehicle was stolen from the park. The bizarre situation happened in late February, about 3 months before the park opened to the public. At first, the construction foreman said when he went to work at 7 a.m. on a Monday, he realized the 2023 Polaris UTV had been parked in a different spot and the key was broken into the ignition, according to the Orange County Sheriff's Office report. The foreman notified the rental company about the situation and got a new key, and we went back to work the next day. This time, the black and gray UTV was gone. The Orange County Sheriff's Office was alerted about the stolen vehicle. The construction foreman told the Sheriff's Office no one was given permission to take the vehicle and it was not loaned out. The construction foreman said he wanted to prosecute and he would be willing to testify in court. The Sheriff's Office took more than 3 months to release the public records, which is why we're talking about it now. Obviously, they have not found this vehicle. Where did it go? Where could it be? Who knows? Someone's got a really cool prop from the construction of Epic Universe. Universal Destinations and Experiences continues to tease expansions for Epic Universe. The park opened on May 22nd. Mark Woodbury, chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences, said in an interview from inside Celestial Park, what you can't see sitting here are all the expansion areas that are outside the spaces that you can see. There's a lot of room for expansion. We're already thinking about how that plays out, and it's the same on the north end of the campus. New attractions coming, new intellectual property coming. Woodbury is referencing some existing expansion pads between the worlds of Epic Universe. In the aerial photos by BioReconstruct you're looking at now, room for expansion is visible in the dark areas between Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and Stardust Racers, plus behind Ministry of Magic. Even areas where there are currently backstage buildings could become park spaces in the future. Our photo, taken from the Universal Helios Grand Hotel, also shows a wide swath of empty land between the hotel and the Wizarding World. Green spaces are nice to look at, but would be more valuable as new attractions or spaces guests could use, which we already know Universal is developing. Karen Irwin, the president and COO of Universal Orlando, said earlier this year, we're already planning for the next thing at Epic. Universal could add to Epic's existing worlds, like the rumored Legend of Zelda expansion to Super Nintendo World, or create brand new worlds. One rumored area would be inspired by Wicked, but also we think Wicked might go to the North Campus, if you would. Woodbury said he plans to add Wicked to the parks in a bigger way. Currently, there's only a themed Wicked shop in Universal Studios Florida and a meet and greet with Elphaba and Glinda. The pair also appeared at Universal Studios Hollywood. They've been in Singapore for a large pop-up Emerald City experience. They've been in a lot of places, but nothing large scale yet. And as for the north end of campus, that means the rest of Universal Orlando, which would mean Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay. Universal is developing new attractions for all the Orlando parks, they've said. Work is already underway on a new attraction replacing Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios Florida. We've talked about that before. There are some poorly kept secrets when it comes to Epic Universe. Luigi's Mansion being one of those. That was a couple of years ago. That flooded out into the world. That seems to be the easy answer in most cases. I don't know when you'll see another full portal. I don't know that, and I'm purely speculating. I don't know that you'll see a full portal in the next decade. I think you'll see expansions to existing portals sometime in that time frame. I don't think a full new portal. I think they have more opportunities with the IPs that are there already. Nintendo alone, there's all the opportunity in the world. And we know, again, poorly kept secrets like Luigi's Mansion. Even more poorly kept is Pokemon. We know Pokemon's getting at least a restaurant and a ride in Japan. They're not willing to announce it yet, but work is already underway. And we know, again, poorly kept secret, Pokemon very likely is the replacement for Simpsons in Universal Studios Florida as well. Where do I think Wicked ends up? I think at that point, I think Wicked ends up in Islands of Adventure. And I still think Zelda, that was another poorly kept secret for a long time. Zelda replacing the Lost Continent still makes sense. So I think those are the things that are on the way. If and when they will happen remains to be seen. But the expansion pads are there, and time will tell what the future holds. It seems guests are already preparing to celebrate holidays at Epic Universe, as single-day tickets for both Thanksgiving and the week after Christmas have already sold out. When checking the single-day ticket availability calendar for Epic, guests may notice that a few days in November and December are grayed out. These dates include November 24th through the 27th and December 26th through the 31st. The dates coincide with several major holidays, as Thanksgiving takes place November 27th, and the dates in December are sandwiched between Christmas and New Year's Day. Regular single-day tickets for Epic range from $139 to $199 for adults, and children $134 to $199 per day. Several of the days around the holidays, especially the latter half of December, are closer to that higher price point. Of course, this calendar only applies to guests purchasing single-day tickets, so there may be different availability for guests booking a package or anything else, or pass holder tickets, etc. Pass holders are still required to purchase separate one-day admission to Epic Universe. The prices are somewhat discounted as opposed to that regular rate. Epic Universe was something that we all talked about for so long, and there was so much excitement that first month or two, and then it's gone silent. And it's gone silent because the fans aren't going anymore. We all went already. It's done. And now it's just tourists, because we're all waiting for a pass, an annual pass that includes Epic. But the other thing is my algorithm on my TikTok account certainly gives me a lot of theme park content. I'm getting a lot from those, what we'd call them average or regular guests from Epic, and people are not happy. People are not having a good time. The capacity issues are persistent, and this park is supposed to hold 40,000 people. We have not been close to that yet, and people are miserable below 40,000. What I'm curious of is Universal going to open those floodgates at any point? Are they going to suck it up and just say, like, hey, you know what? Universal, Christmas and Thanksgiving, put 40,000 people in, whatever happens, happens. I hope that's not the case. That would be unethical. I wouldn't do that to people. But I think at some point they might. But look, tickets are not currently selling out, and so the 10, 15, 20,000 people that currently enjoy the park, they could let in more. They're just, people aren't buying enough tickets to do that. So look, as was said at the beginning of the summer, no matter how you felt about Epic Universe, the marketing probably wasn't great, and it's just a bad tourism summer domestically. People aren't going places. Everyone's hurting. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Orlando, anywhere there's tourism, they are hurting domestically in the United States. And so, look, it's probably a good thing. Epic is still in need of more capacity, and this gives them time to figure out some things and get more capacity on the rides that do exist already. But it's very clear they're going to need to expand that park very quickly if they want to put 40,000 people in it. I like the park very much. If you've seen some of the honest reviews so far, I know we still got to finish them. You'll see I was very positive, I would say, about this park. But there is no doubt the park operationally is a mess. Like, it's not functional, not for 40,000 people. It's not really functional for more than 15,000, which is a huge issue. So hopefully they're going to figure it out and get all this working before they sell. I don't think you can ethically sell us annual passes until you figure that out, because how many thousands of us is that going to add to the daily attendance at that point? I think we're going to have to wait longer, or otherwise just stomach a somewhat miserable Epic Universe park going experience. But let me know in the comments how you feel. Maybe you feel differently. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT, and the team will design your next epic vacation, from the Universal theme parks to the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resorts, Disney Cruise Line, Virgin Voyages, Royal Caribbean, and more. Themed sets and decorations have appeared at Universal Studios Florida for Halloween Horror Nights 34. Thanks to these newly installed sets, we can confirm the Masquerade Dance the Death Scare Zone will be in the Hollywood section of the park. The Scare Zone is described as follows. You're invited to a masquerade ball where bloodthirsty vampires lurk behind ornate disguises. When their masks fall, you'll become their prey. There are now 3 highly themed stages along the street. This one is near the Schwab's Pharmacy. It has reddish-brown wood-style edges and yellow-gold accent panels. On the back of each stage is a stained glass-style image. This fake stained glass is across 2 doors. This one features a black bird with wings spread wide. A-frame signs on each stage let guests know that this is part of the Halloween Horror Nights construction. They're also reminding guests to do not climb the sets. This stage outside the Ralph's facade looks like a dirty marble. It has a railing in the center, curving in front of the stained glass doors. This stained glass depicts a bat in shades of black and orange, and the stained glass images are also visible on the back of the sets. The last set is outside the darkroom facade. It has the same wood finishes as the first. It has a completed floor, however, featuring white and black tiles, and the stained glass image is a crouched gargoyle. The Cat Lady of Crooked Lane scare zone will be outside Animal Actors on location. Its description is, travel down a spooky winding path to a mysterious home where trick-or-treaters are transformed into feral felines. Be careful or you'll be next. This set is made of wood planks, creating 3 structures and fencing. Each of the structures features stained glass designs with a hidden cat's face. If you look at the design upside down, you'll also see a cat. They have since fixed this. They weren't meant to be up. They were installed upside down. After we took photos, the next day they flipped these right side up, so keep that in mind. Though there are A-frame signs explaining the set as part of Horror Nights and asking guests not to climb, the set is not blocked off, so guests can walk through it. There are some openings covered in scrim, probably where a scare actor will pop out to frighten guests. There are scratches across the wood in various spots. Themed burlap also has tears in it, and some of the fence pieces are splattered with white paint. Some of the windows have plexiglass coverings. Instead of removing trees or constructing the set elsewhere, Universal built the set around existing trees, so they feel like part of the scare zone. Over at the Fear Factor stage, we saw some familiar striped, dotted, and diamond patterned bunting hanging from the ceiling. This is the same bunting from Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus. But we do know now that there will be a different show. Will not be that show. Halloween Horror Nights 34 is on from select nights, August 29th through November 2nd. Tickets are on sale now. But let's solve the mystery of those shows, shall we? Universal Orlando announced all the entertainment for that event, including a new Lagoon show titled Hauntophonic, A Ghoulish Journey. Universal described the new show with the following: a ghost story is rising from its watery grave to haunt the Universal Studios Lagoon, featuring towering water screens and eerie music. That announcement also came with the return of Nightmare Fuel, the new name, Nightmare Fuel, Circus of Decay. No additional details on the new version of the show were shared, though. We just have the name. Slash is returning to Halloween Horror Nights for his 7th year with an original score for a newly announced haunted house, Scarecrow, music by Slash. Scarecrow, music by Slash, puts retribution at the forefront, in which Mother Nature seeks vengeance on the homesteaders for their sins of the past that will be carried out by farmland scarecrows, mute witnesses who have become the guardians of destruction for anyone who crosses their path. Coinciding with the announcement, Slash music of Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights Volume 2 is now available to purchase on vinyl. There have been multiple Scarecrow houses and scare zones at HHN, including Scarecrow The Reaping at Halloween Horror Nights 2022 in Universal Studios Hollywood. Both that and the Orlando version, still I think the best, 2 of the best, if not the best houses in the history of Horror Nights. Tickets are on sale now for Universal Studios Hollywood's event as well, and we will be there to bring that to you. I always love the Hollywood event. People, we all talk up just Orlando, and I love the Orlando event, but man, I have had such a great time at the Hollywood event the last several years. I think their houses are often better. Don't tell anyone. I think the overall event in Orlando is more of a spectacle. There's more to it. The scare zones are often very much better. But the houses in Hollywood just always blow me away. The Halloween Horror Nights houses becoming year-round experiences at Universal Horror Unleashed will have expanded stories and updated experiences. Halloween Horror Nights creative alums Nate Stevenson, who's creative show director, and TJ Manarino, the VP of Art and Design, appeared on the Discover Universal podcast to talk about Universal Horror Unleashed, which opens at Area 15 in Las Vegas next month. As they explain, traditional HHN like Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights 2025 is limited to the space of an existing park. They were able to build this experience from the ground up and make it semi-permanent. The creative team wanted to elevate Halloween Horror Nights and make it more interactive. Scare zones and haunted houses at HHN are immersive, and guests get genuine interactions with scare actors, but they are forced to move on within seconds. At Horror Unleashed, guests can grab a drink or food and hang out around the characters, raising the possibilities for individual, unique experiences and the potential for different experiences on multiple visits. The characters of Horror Unleashed live in the warehouse and have rich backstories and hierarchies. The characters and scare actors are roaming. There will be a storyteller in each area who guests can sit with for 30 minutes or more, discussing everything they want to know. It's not one horror experience, the creatives say, but a culmination. The food, drinks, and merchandise all tie into the story. As previously confirmed, the 4 houses for Universal Horror Unleashed will be Universal Monsters, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scarecrow The Reaping, again, high expectations, and Blumhouse's The Exorcist Believer, low expectations. The house entrances are portals, and while the house themes are repeating from Halloween Horror Nights, they are updated experiences. The house layouts were changed and the experiences were plussed because they could do everything we had wanted to do without restrictions, said Universal. As one example, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is completely different. It follows the original 1974 film, starting in the graveyard. Every aggressor and victim is represented. Scarecrow the Reaping has a holding area outside the farmhouse and barn, which are realized as full facades. The house's holding rooms have audio and video, adding to the story. Scarecrow's Dust Bowl story about the Earth taking revenge will be upgraded with a fully realized dust storm. Towards the end of the podcast, they referenced when guests were pulsed through HHN houses due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They explained guests enjoyed the story more because they had more time in each room. Universal Horror Unleashed gives guests more time in the space and with the characters so they can see more and enjoy the expanded stories. The full Discover Universal podcast is available online. Universal Horror Unleashed opens on August 14th, 2025, my birthday, and that's what I'll be doing for my birthday. I'll be there covering that. Tickets are available now. They range in price, those tickets, from $59 to $99. There are tickets with one-time access to each house, including a discounted option for Nevada residents, and tickets with unlimited access to houses on the selected date. But again, August 14th. It's coming up soon. Stay tuned for that coverage as well. We're not done with Horror Unleashed. Universal shared a sneak peek of the Universal Horror Unleashed merchandise that'll be available when the experience opens. The collection includes generic Universal Horror Unleashed logo merchandise, Jack the Clown merchandise, and items inspired by each of the 4 haunted houses. The generic merchandise includes a tie-dye style spirit jersey with blood splatters around the experience's word mark on the back. Las Vegas is under Universal Horror Unleashed. We already know there'll be a second one in Chicago someday. In addition to spirit jersey, there's a ball cap and tumbler, and what appears to be a magnet, keychain, and pin, all with the same circular design featuring card suits on the edge. It's hard to discern the exact colors because the merchandise is lit with a red light, but they appear to be red and black. Jack the Clown merchandise includes a red Jack bomber jacket and a polka dot crop top. There's a circular bag featuring his face. What appears to be a burlap-inspired hat also has Jack's face and blood splatter. There's a Jack the Clown figurine and plush inspired by Jack and Chance, and a cup features Jack's face as well. For Universal Monsters, there is a black button-up featuring the names and images of Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster. A white t-shirt features a retro red lip image with a "She's Alive" text in big fuzzy black letters. There's a pleather sling bag with Frankenstein and faux stitching embossed across it. A pin features Frankenstein's monster and Wolfman. There's a pair of rings, one featuring the bride's red lips and the other featuring the neck bolts of Frankenstein's monster. The second house is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's another spirit jersey featuring the film's name in red above a drip effect above an image of Leatherface. The villain is also pictured with his chainsaw on a white shirt and black backpack. A red journal has the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in puffy lettering. There are stitch elements across the cover, and what appears to be a bottle opener resembles a rusty chainsaw with the film's name and blood marks on the blade. The Exorcist Believer house is represented with a T reading "I am no one" across a blue and black design. A safety pin accessory has a dangling skull and snake charm. A frosted tumbler with a wood finish cap features a snake with the Exorcist Believer wordmark. And finally, Lamashtu and a floating girl are depicted on a pin. Lastly, Scarecrow the Reaping merchandise includes a graphic t-shirt featuring a regular Scarecrow and a pig Scarecrow. There's a Scarecrow plush. I need it. A necklace has a crow's claw wrapped around an eye, and red gems on chains dangle from the claw like drops of blood. It's cool. Scarecrow never really got its own stuff, so it's cool to see it like really respected in this venue, and also the fact that you could take home merchandise of one of the best houses ever. It's a really cool thing. A fourth version of the HamiKuma will debut in a new Halloween Horror Nights show at Universal Studios Japan. HamiKuma candy is the manifestation of HamiKuma's greed. He's a melty, sugary bear based on the candy inside of HamiKuma's belly. Guests can meet HamiKuma starting on September 5th, the first day of Halloween Horror Nights in Japan. He joins the original HamiKuma, HamiKuma Soul, and HamiKuma Punk, the last of which was introduced last year. This is basically the Duffy of Halloween Horror Nights. Or sorry, Captain Cacao. I'm sorry, Captain. Please forgive me. Here's the official description of HamiKuma from USJ. HamiKuma was a sideshow act in a traveling circus. His adorable appearance and quirky movements began to bring huge crowds wherever the circus went. The other performers became jealous of the bear's rising popularity and feared he would soon be made a star of the circus. They also began to believe the rumor that he wasn't even a real bear. So one night they lured him into a big top tent and slashed open his belly, trying to expose who or what might be inside. Desperate to cover their tracks, the performers set fire to the big top and burned it down, and HamiKuma lost his life. Plunged into the afterlife, there he remained until Deathbringer, a parasitic demon of the underworld, worked his way into HamiKuma's belly to use it as a new host to return to the surface. Although this gave HamiKuma eternal life and returned him to the surface, his soul was left behind. Having returned to our world, HamiKuma has once again returned to performing. Although he is now the star of the show, his belly remains open, with many mysteries lurking inside, just waiting to push their way out. HamiKuma's soul is the soul of HamiKuma, still in the afterlife, and HamiKuma Punk is a manifestation of the bear's inner rage. All 4 bears will appear during the new HamiKuma's Sweet Scream Party, replacing last year's Shout It Out Party. The party has been described by Universal as bolder than ever. It also runs throughout the duration of Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights at USJ will run September 5th through November 3rd. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Inner Globe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to universalparksnewstoday.com or just WDWNT.com if you want to get there faster. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to UPNT on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the program. For UPNT, this is Tom Corliss saying, the future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one.